Hello and a very warm welcome to another episode of Voices of SUP, where we chat to some inspirational people in the stand-up paddling community. Now, our guest today is nothing short of inspirational as we chat all things adventure, touring and exploration within the stand-up paddling world. But before we move on any further, remember, if you're not a pro subscriber on SUPboarder Magazine, head over there, get yourself on their pro subscription list so you can access the extended video and the pro tips as well. Let's get straight into introducing our guest today. He has paddled the Nile River through Ethiopia, a 1,800 kilometer journey along the Marignan River in the heart of the Amazon. He's circumnavigated England and Wales, also the Isle of Wight and Ibiza, and I'm sure there's many, many more he has also circumnavigated that we don't know about. He's paddled through icebergs in Greenland. He has paddled from Land's End to London, and he has a huge project in the works that we talk about during this interview. And he supports so many different charities through completing these journeys. It's incredible to think that this man has done all of this in his lifetime. We're going to get into introducing our guest today. Please welcome Charlie Head. How do you describe yourself? Who is the real Charlie Head?
Jeez, well, straight up, that's a difficult one. I'm more of a creative, so I've probably spent most of my life just trying to figure that out. Describe yourself is quite difficult, but without being too negative, I think I'm creative, left-handed, very distracted, hyperactive, furnace of energy, and I just spend my whole time with a clenched sphincter, just trying to cope with the normal world. And that's me. I mean, I think it'd be better for other people to describe me. But yeah, no, I'm fueled, I'm hungry, but I've got a few glitches, so it freaks a few people out, but otherwise,
I think everyone's got a few glitches. I think it just creates personality.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's well, we're talking about the mental health side of things that I focus on. Like, that's what it's all about. It's about sort of translating your emotions and trying to figure out exactly where your incentives come from. Anyway, we're going to talk about that right now. But yeah.
And you're an adventurer at heart too.
Yeah, I mean, there is a big difference between adventure and an explorer, but it really just comes down to incentive. I mean, it's a tool. Paddleboarding is the tool. Adventure's the tool to deliver a message. But I think adventure's, for adventure's sake, I mean, there's a whole new industry now in there, and it's being used to really positive things. I mean, there's a lot of online style to it and self-promoting inside, which can delude people a bit, but otherwise the whole adventure and exploration industry is making a massive impact on raising awareness for in education, environmentalism, and everything. And it's so beautiful. And to wield that weapon is just everything to me. And really, it's down to science and education, really, for exploration, rather than just skipping under the moonlight, having a great adventure. I do like it, but I also like to bleed. I like to earn my rite of passage, and feel like you pop out and you inspire others, and really that is my fuel, that is my energy, that is my meaning of life. To be honest, as the feedback and the reward for that is just everything, as you probably know.
It's interesting you mention that you've built up such a platform that you're able to bring these things to light and show more people about, whether it be environmental or mental health, or even just the work you do through the charities that you work with. It's really great. And you do all of that, as you said, through using a SUP and using that as your tool. How did you get into stand-up paddleboarding in the first place?
Yeah, well, it came fairly organically, but I treated it like a present, a treat to me, because I had a water sports school here, and I was teaching kiteboarding, windsurfing, wakeboarding, kids sessions, life skill stuff. And I'd really had my ass kicked by business. I was great at creating the ideas and opportunities and then just being the horse to get it done. But all the small print and all the business and the hustle and the little bits, I bulldoze through, and that is my kryptonite, to be fair. And I thought, well, there's no point me getting into business and doing all these things if I can't take care of myself. I can't feel life. There's all these constructs that everything's made up and everyone's on the charge the whole time. And I can't feel myself. I'm very sensitive. So I absorb other people's energies and incentives, and it just overwhelms me. And then paddleboarding suddenly came and became much more fashionable, trendy, or starts to really come up. And rather than bring it into my school and then carry on, which would be the logical thing to do because it was such a simple, basic, and brilliant sport, I took it. I left everything, sold everything, and took paddleboarding. And I said, I'm off. And it was a bit of a Gump moment, and and just pursued an endless horizon, which was me running away from problems. But what it did do is it evolved in me running towards solutions. You know what I mean? So like the mental health, like what I do, is there is a little bit of escapism, but fundamentally it starts like that. Now it is very much using it as a tool rather than just trying to figure myself out, So, and when I go out there, I can hear my own rhythm, I can hear my own beat, and it really it empowers me more, and helps me deal with the world around me.
What is the message that you're trying to convey to people through doing these adventures?
Preserving the world that is slowly getting squashed, really. It's really creative, trying to make creative media. It's trying to capture imagination and then deliver a message, a lesson in there that isn't boring. I mean, I love entertainment. I love stunts. I love to laugh. And I really think that a lot of the lessons out there's a lot of people loving the sound of their own voice and plugging a thing, but really it's about turning this message into this lovely cocktail dance of information that just makes you absorb it better and connects with kids better. I love it, and it's a great creative outlet.
I absolutely love some of the videos that you've done. It's like you make some funny faces and you're like doing the head thing and just into different scenes. I just really like it. It's just a really cool way to just spread the message of paddleboarding. A big driving force in promoting awareness is mental health, and it can be such a sensitive topic for many people, and it's actually still really surprising how many people suffer from it. But there is help out there, and be it ourselves or someone else, we all know that someone who's been dealing with it. You're so proactive in communicating that message. How did it become such a driving force?
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. I kind of feel like I haven't at all. I go through these pulses of moments where I'm all out, all in, and then I hide away into my cave, and then I become unproductive, and not unproductive, but just not really being the voice I should be. And if I'm going to be voicing and being a public figure of some kind, I need to sort myself out before I can, be helping. And I find when I'm centered and strong, I'm powerful, I can give. But when I'm weak, I'm broken and I'm useless, and I feel it. And then my mind just takes you even lower, and I just think, well, I'm no good. So I thought it's really important for me to translate my emotions and really understand the source of everything, and look at it in the face, because you can spend my whole life running away and distracting and meditating and sugarcoating and doing all this stuff, but not looking it in the face and just dealing with it. And that's what I've been trying to do. And my journey around England and Wales and the stuff I've been filming about myself and that progress really helped. And And I just think when I've a little bit on top of myself, I'll be much better at supporting things that are bigger than I am, basically. And because I found that whenever I talk to the camera and I expressed myself, I'd play it back, I would learn from myself. And I thought, my God, this is profound. I'm filming myself, talking about myself, watching myself, learn from myself. And it's very confusing. But it was weird, but it worked. And I thought, oh, maybe I could carry that on and just be open and regurgitate these feelings and be raw about it and not worry about the internet and you know, whatever invisible force may be at work, and just do that. And I thought, well, that would be really good, but it's also terrifying. But the actual physical process of going from A to B and dealing with this problem is really easy to digest. It's really powerful for me to get a job done. I mean, you could look at life as just from birth to death. That's an A to B. Can't you just work things out and tackle all these problems on the way? And I just, well, no, it's the cake so big. There's so much. I could be doing this. I'm meant to be doing that. I have to be doing this. And I just go, oh, just paralyzes you. But when I'm just act in front of me and what's going on, I go out, I need to help that person. Look, they need help. I need to pick up that crap because it's there. It's in front of me. I can't say, oh, I haven't got time because I'm busy. I deal with what's in front of me. The bags on my board is my life, and that's it. That is my world and my horizon and what I'm going to do on this journey. And that's it. And survive. And the therapy, the wholesome incentive of that really helps me because I'm so drowned out by the world. I can't feel myself. And that really empowers me and helps me deal with what I've got to deal with. So it's great being, you know, whatever, if you're emotionally intelligent, you feel other people and you're sensitive, and that's great. But it completely takes over your life and takes over your mind, that I'm just left with this husk of a person. And England and Wales did that to me. It was like, it was brilliant and beautiful, but my energy was zapped emotionally. Forget the physical, I could have paddled to Mars, but emotionally, I was connecting with so many people with mental health problems from military to abuse to this, and they were connecting with me as I was doing this organically. And then the whole point was to talk. And because I'm this entity that comes into your life and then disappears, I have this intense romantic affair with you, because of the promise that I'm leaving. Do you know what I mean? So we have this incredible moment where we share and we have love and we inspire each other, and then I'm gone onto my mission. And they know that, so they feel like, you know, subconsciously that this is a very special moment to capitalize on. And they helped me. They helped me because they really opened up to me, which could take a lifetime, which maybe even family members wouldn't get to see, that I got that. And I got to see the rawness and the realness in their eyes and what's happened. And I could connect it to my problems. And then how am I going to deal with that? Translating your feelings, looking it in the face and identifying it.
Do you actively do that with a lot of people that you meet along all of your paddles? Do you engage with communities?
Some of my journeys have been sort of reliant on other people. Like the England and Wales one was crazy, man, because I was doing a human experiment going with no money. So I had to rely on the kindness of strangers and followers. And I thought that would be a good way for me to talk to people. It would force me to ask for help, and it would be like a little poetic kind of lesson. But it ended up being so stressful because I'm not only cracked out a long day, you do 60k on one side because the wind is never behind you, and then you have to find a camp spot and food. You need your sleep and your energy because that's when you're healing. And you spend all this time faffing around trying to get a camp, trying to find money, trying to see, and then you've got to do something for them for the money, and it just ended up so stressful, as well as talking about mental health. I was like, So I should have taken that out of the mix, and then just keep it raw to that and filming. But it was a good lesson. I love that acting on the moment, and that the beauty in that, and letting your mind fire away on making something up to cope with now, and utilizing what you've got. And there's a wonderful dance with that. It's beautiful. But when you start putting other people's lives in danger and other things, then you've got to rethink. But there's a beautiful there's a beautiful relationship with yourself when you can see yourself have these reactions and instincts and how they work with you, and you don't really get to exercise it very much in the real world. And so even though it's good to have order and structure and things, I also think you need to leave a little artistic freedom for your creativity, and so there wouldn't be plans and structures. So when people would see me and meet me, it would be like they'd feel like it's some sort of destiny, because it would take such a multiple of things to make that happen. And when people find you and they get told and don't get pushed and don't get guided, their relationship with you is different, because it's theirs. When they take ownership of their finding you, their relationship with you, as soon as you start like, then they're like, yeah, whatever. So that was beautiful. And then again, your relationship's harnessed by this sort of natural bond that you have together. So I really loved an organic story. Yeah, but it can be a bit more hazardous.
That's very interesting. I think your next project has a bit of planning involved, but obviously during it, it's going to be
only because I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not want to go the usual road. I'm like the old school gamer. I'm a complete nerd. It's all about the hidden places, the roaming around in the dark, going through all the little gaps, the places that nobody goes. And I love those places. So when people say, right, and I go, right, I'm going to do this path, they go, okay, go, right, risk assess this area. This is the path that people take. Dude, I don't want to take that path. I'm going off, mate. And I'm gonna find the new. And that's what gives me the hunger, man. It's the unseen, the undone, and doing it in a new way. And that's where you're going to find new answers, and that's where you're going to find the magic.
Yes, of course. So it seems like you're so excited about it. Do you want to give us some insight? I think we should let you introduce it, Project Gaia, because
Project Gaia. This has been my lifetime baby that I've only just started to talk about it. Close people have always known, it's been brewing in the background for a lifetime. So it's a pod, but it's a hybrid. So it's got a thicker bottom. I can drag it across ice and snow, and I can sail it, I can paddle it, and it is just one craft. So you've got the continuity of one craft going around the world, which hasn't been done really in any way, apart from the sailing, but not over land, via the poles with one craft. And then it would be to make a new route and the opposite way around that's been done. And on that way would be a dedicated, structured points of interest around climate change, and really connecting with scientists, politicians, as well as individuals and industries, to really unearth the truth, and try and sift through all the bullshit and all the fluff, and try and make mini stories. For example, first leg up to Scotland. Scotland would be to the Faroe Islands to Iceland, Greenland, Pole, Alaska, Canada, on the way down. So the first one from Scotland to the Faroe Islands, a few hundred K, a few days out at sea, I'll be focusing on the whale slaughter that goes on there, and talking about the politics behind that, the story behind that, and the story with us, and why we do these things, and what our new relationship with animals. Because Faroe Islands, they are more sustainable and more empathetic to their animals than we are. They just have this one exercise that they do, which is far more humane than the way we treat our animals. But it's disgusting in a way, the way it's done, and because of the whaling and the, you know, the dolphin side of things, it's got bad PR. But when you strip it back, actually, you know, they're really great communities, you know. But it is horrific, and can we afford to have that kind of relationship with our mammals, or any animal? And it's really seeing both sides of the argument, and it's stripping it back, and working out what the morality is in it, and really what is going forward, and try and do it in a nice, creative way. I don't want to do too much scaremongering. I don't want to do too much, you know, detailing. I want to just express it from different perspectives, and then that would be one story, and then the next story, and it will branch out into all these different subtopics that's all relevant to climate change. But really, the human, you know, the human incentive, and how are we evolving? How are we changing? What do we need to do? But it's been an obsession, dude. Honestly, I've just been like, sometimes I feel like I'm not even in control. I just feel like I'm 70 trillion cells being guided by some beast to do this thing. And I'm like, I'm trying to give myself a break. Like, shut up, just put it to rest, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's other light, you know, but I can't. It's taken over me, and I'm like, oh. So, but I am relaxing a little bit, because, you know, it's damaging. It's damaging in a way, but it's beautiful. I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic, completely hopeless. I'm, you know, everything that exploration is this romantic gesture, an incentive, a dance in pursuit, you know. And so Gaia, it was like all my journeys, it's a process of awakening. It's a way of, yeah, it's connecting with the world around you. I was just saying earlier, like, I need to bleed and feel my lessons, and whenever I do these little educational things or do a journey, I get more the lessons, you know, and I feel it because I'm wearing it, I'm tasting it, I'm breathing it, and then everything connects with me more. I mean,
so we've got a little, what we call the sprint round here. It's a list of questions, and it's just, I want just short, quick answers. One board to use for the rest of your life. Would it be a race SUP, surf SUP, inflatable, touring board, surfboard, whitewater?
yeah, it's going to have to be some beast of a board, so I can do everything. Because at the end of the day, I don't necessarily want the perfect board for the perfect thing. I find it, like, I remember windsurfing, it was like, I was more interested in trying to forward loop a beginner start board than I was my wave board. I was like, yeah, that's a challenge. So, you know, and you can do everything. If you've got a chunky board, you can still cruise downwinders, you can still do whitewater, you can still wave, but just be a bit more comical. But at least I can do it all. Yeah. So I'd have a big touring board, and I could take everything, do everything with it for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite place you've ever paddled?
Favorite place? I don't know, man. Everything's so beautiful. As you get older, it just becomes more beautiful, and you kind of, like, I'm unprejudiced. You know, I love the grey, dark, stormy, you know, but I love a bit of tropical. It's all good, but I've lived everywhere, and everywhere becomes everything, and it's all about the people, and, you know, everything's beautiful. So Bembridge, where I am, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's great. Peru's good. Amazon's good. The Caribbean's good. It's all good, but it becomes, you know, the same as anything else.
Prefer warm or cold water to paddle in? Tropical?
Cold.
Yeah, cold. Yeah. Nice. For you, where's the best place to go and paddle just to get away from it all?
The North Pole. I want to do more. The Greenland, Canada, Alaska, Russia. Yes.
Yeah.
Cold, gritty, wild. Yeah.
Nice.
Just love it. Love it. Love it. I want to do more up there. I mean, I've been wanting to go paddle to the pole for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
and it's been quite hard logistics to make that work. But I'm definitely trying to make that work. Yeah.
You do a lot of solo paddles, but who would be the best person to paddleboard with?
It's the attitude, really. I enjoy female company when it comes to survival stuff, because I just find them much more emotional intelligence. It helps you survive more than your muscle.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? In generally, or
Yeah, just generally. Yeah, generally.
Well, my recent, I don't know, the last 2019, 2020 has been a lot of mainly people in the whole psychology side of things. There's been, Jordan Peterson and, Russell Brand and characters like that really are helping people communicate their feelings and thoughts and confronting the mindfulness and how, even though there's some disputes I have with some information, there's a lot of characters like that coming out, which are really inspiring people and helping people with confidence, with translating the world around you, and I think that really helps. And I wish I could be more useful like that, but I've still got a few glitches. But those people definitely inspiring me. Yeah, in that side of things, because I find for me that's the bravest place, because obviously that's where I'm most afraid. I'd be delighted to fight a dragon with a spork, no problem, but love me. No, but you know what I mean.
What's next for you, Charlie? What can we be looking forward to seeing next?
Dude, if this virus lets up, I want to get around this country in 66 days. It's a ridiculous number, but that would be the fastest paddle journey around the country ever. And I've got to have nice to have a target and not get distracted, because I'm going to let out some footage of some of my England and Wales legs and the lessons and stuff like that soon, and before I leave. It's not going to be like that, because I'll be straight into a cave talking to these people, that person, and it was just like, just feeding on this knowledge, and the paddling was secondary. So it took a while, and then I didn't end up doing Scotland. So I thought, okay, I'll do Scotland as its separate thing. And I was like, God, the continuity's gone. 6 years. It's been like a backstory to my other journeys. Like, I'd just do a little bit of England and piece it together. It's been over such a long period. And I thought, I think I need to just nail it in one, to have that continuity, and just get my head down and not interact too much, and just do talking. So I do podcasts. So I'd have my camera up and connected. So I just talk and paddle, live stream.
Oh, cool.
I won't edit. I won't do all that editing stuff. I'll just have that live all the time. You can tune in. You can ask me questions. I'm going to talk all sorts of just whatever. And I thought maybe that could be useful. That could be nice.
That'd be a really good addition.
And I could sustain that, rather than having to edit and cut and just paddle, sleep, chat.
Nice. Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Charlie, for sharing.
Dude, I'm sorry
everything.
if I rammed on everything.
No, not at all. Is there anything else you wanted to share with the viewers?
Yeah, I know. It's just the mental health side. It's been so fascinating, and I haven't really been sharing my lessons, because I've been kind of hoping to save them to do it, but I've been wanting to share so much, because it's profound and extraordinary, and it's really important for me to share those stories and to have some reflection back. But it has been such an interesting journey to, like I said, learning from myself, but also from other people, about how my mind works and what's real, what's not, and how can I rewire my mind. And I think a lot of people in the world are going through their own personal awakening, their own connecting. There's a changing world. There's a lot of change, and there's a lot of people opening up. But that's also the big thing. What do you want to die for? Rather than people wondering what they live for. It's like, well, maybe. So anyway, bro, yeah. So that has been the most fascinating journey, and trying to understand the reality, and that helps my incentive, the bigger picture. so I can be powerful without all these little demons going, shut up, don't do this. I actually can't hear them anymore, and I just know my purpose is true, my purpose is strong, and that's what you live and die for. Doesn't matter, even though you'll get judged and you've got this, as long as your is solid, then that gives you a foundation to express yourself.
Wow, thank you very much, Charlie, for sharing all of your insights. This is so inspirational. It's exactly what we want to hear on Voices of SUP. I really hope you enjoy listening to Charlie and all of his work that he does with mental health, and also those really cool upcoming adventures he has planned. I know I'm starting to plan my next adventure. I hope you are as well. Remember, if you're a pro subscriber, you can scroll down now or head over to SUPboarder Magazine to access that content. But please feel free to leave some comments below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Until next time, thank you for tuning in and watching Voices of SUP.